Hey sis, I have a download for you. I have my notes here to help me articulate everything that happened. So, this is only going to be for some sisters. Some sisters do not struggle with this. Like, you've already conquered it, like, you're good. But there are some sisters that this is keeping them stuck. And so, basically, what happened was I heard she's stuck in this loop of who she is. And I said, okay. So if she's stuck in a loop of who she is, then how does she learn like who she is? And I heard she doesn't. I was like, okay, if she doesn't know who she is, how is she supposed to know? How does she learn who she is? And I heard she doesn't. She remembers. I said, okay. So this is not something that she needs to learn. It's something that is already in her. And she just needs to remember like what's in her. I was like, okay. And then what came to mind was, it was like imagine someone that was adopted. And like as I got older, the mom and dad told them, you were actually adopted. And like this is your biological father and mother, and they're like royalty, right? And in that moment of the adoptive parents telling the child that they were adopted and like this is their actual lineage, like this is who you are, that is what's going to get her out of that loop. Because once she knows who she is, the enemy cannot continue to use the same things that he used about her. The other thing that came up, because I felt like this is going to be for sisters that are like struggling with self-worth, that are struggling with like insecurities, and there's just this huge loop of like, am I even worthy of the things that I am like asking for? And God is saying, when you remember who you are, that is how you get free from the stronghold, because it's the stronghold that keeps trying to get you to not remember. But once you know who you are, all you have to do is present that to the stronghold, and it has to submit, like it has to flee. But God then gave me like a visual of like a woman that wore the same outfit every day, like for a whole month. Like say she wore like, I don't know, like all black, like that was just what she wore. And then one day she decided to like get super fancy, so she did like all of the things, and she looks in the mirror and she's like, I feel beautiful today. And God is saying that you dressing in black, like you wearing the same thing over and over again, is like the enemy telling you that you are not pretty, right? You are not worthy. And then you getting dressed up for that one day, and then you looking in the mirror and you're saying, I feel pretty today. Like that's the war that's going on in your mind. It's like you you're forcing yourself to believe that you're worthy, to believe that you're beautiful. But you cannot do this fully until you know who you are. And this is why the enemy is holding it against you, because he knows that you don't even know who you are, or he doesn't even he knows that you don't believe what you're saying about yourself. But he's saying that once you accept who you are, your royalty, then that's when you can look in the mirror and be like, I am beautiful. I am loved. As opposed to saying, I look beautiful, right? Every day, regardless of what you're wearing, because of who you are, because of your lineage, you are royalty. And it's like that's all that needs to be said and done. So it's like once you accept that you were adopted as a child, and now you know who your daddy is, because it's like us as people, just in general, like we know that if you're God's child, which all of us are God's children, right? Okay, that's fine. But if you are God's child, then you already know what you deserve. It's like it's a birthright. It's not even about what you think you deserve, right? It's like this is who you are. You can't you can't fake it is who you are. So if you are struggling with this, and he's showing me that a lot of what this is the mental, like it is something that's it's a war in your mind. But once you accept who you are, remember who you are, that is when you will get the upper hand. And that is when you can start to combat against the thoughts that goes against what you know to be true about who you are. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that gets some of you all set free. Know that this is something that you are going to have to be, I don't want to say fighting against, but it is something that you are going to have to be putting into practice every day. The enemy isn't even after your mind. The enemy is already he already has your mind, and the goal is to get you set free. But you have to step into who you are, remember who you are, in order to fight against the enemy. Something else that came to mind was after Yahshua fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, how the enemy tried to tempt him, and like Yahshua, he just hit him with scripture. That's all you have to do. You know who you are. You don't have to entertain the enemy. The enemy is going to show up. But if you are trying to force yourself to say, I want to feel pretty today, so let me go and put the makeup on, the dress on, and do my hair, know that there is something in you that knows it's already beautiful. You just have to accept that or remember that. So hopefully that was helpful. If y'all have any questions, put them in the comment section. And I will see you all in the next one. Y'all stay encouraged.